Yes, Mr. Ghazi.
Okay. So the last one, it is form, or it's not even false, like select. The last one is select. And you see options. And you close the select. Select, and you see options, and you close the select. And these options are these: Riyadh, Dammam, Jeddah, and Mecca. This select as a form component is for the drop-down list. This is the select. See, this is a select. So when you see a select and you see multiple options in here, you know this is a drop-down list. It's not radio, it's not checkbox, it is a drop-down list. So this is the select in here. So, are we clear, Shabab, with these components of HTML that we already got? Are we clear?
Doctor, what is the name?
What is what?
NIB for radio.
As I said, the ID, the name, the value, those are used for database. And I believe the NIB is actually for database name. This NIB. I believe so. Not sure really. But it is not actually part of the code. No, you can't change it. You can change it. Just like the ID. See the ID, you can change it. But the ID here of Raqqa, will be going to the checkbox in here. And there is another ID for Raqqa to the radio button. So depending on that specific part, you can put IDs that are redundant, like repeated. It's okay. Repeated in other parts. So if you use Raqqa as IDs here, you can also use Raqqa as ID here. But those are for database purposes. So don't worry about that. If you are into it, there is a big page at the left pane, I think, for how to connect HTML to the database. So other questions with the components here? Good. So where do you find this link? Again, you go to Lab 7, open the file. I wanted to know that we want to use break. And you open the link below the last one, and you will see the link already there. Just click run, and you will see a difference. Why the image here is not shown? It is because this tool is very restricted. But if you try and put another one here, and put it there, it will be working fine. An image will be shown. There is, see, it is restricted. Even I am using their file, and the image is not shown. But these are the parts of HTML that I want you to learn. So this is the first source of where to know HTML. Now, the second source is in the course content. And exercises, HTML introduction exercises. This is the second source. Now, this second source is basically like 40 questions, 40 questions that are in multiple choice format. Some of these questions I already discussed. Some of them, read it, memorize it, Google it. The most important thing is that you know what does it mean and you know the answer. When I ask you a question, again, in the quiz or in the final exam, all the questions there will be true, false, multiple choice, or multiple answers. So if I ask you a question about this one, for example, what HTML stands for, I will not make it in multiple choice. I will transfer it into true, false. I will say, HTML stands for hypertext material language. Is that right or wrong? You will say wrong. So these are like chunks of information that are organized in a multiple choice question and answers. So these are the questions for the second source. So you only have two sources. Again, some of these I already discussed. Some of these you have to just learn it, memorize it, do whatever. So, for example, you have this one. Who's making the web standard? It is the consortium. Who is making the break there? I already done that. What is the background color style? It is this one. But I'll make it in a true-false format. How you define a text to be important? You use a strong tag or element. How you make a text emphasized? You use M. This is the hypertext. How you end the tag? Using this one, and so on. The tag is, this is what they mean. These are the tags. How you end the tag? This is how you end the tag, using the backslash. So this is the second source information. You find in the course content. So you have two sources. The first one, the link in Lab 7. It will open this one for you. The second source is this PDF file that has about, I think, 40 questions. Are we clear, Shabab, with the HTML thing? Because we are done with HTML. There is no assignment, but there is a quiz, inshallah, next Thursday. Are we clear?
Doctor, we should study the 40 question to be able to do quiz, or it's for the final?
It is for both. Because the whole HTML is for, HTML is with the final, and we're done. That's it. The final will have access and HTML. HTML questions in the final will be maybe like 1/5 of the questions or less about HTML. I think it will be even less. So, for example, if you have, I don't know, like 20 questions in the final or 25, HTML will be 5 out of 25. 5 questions. So, what is the source of your study for HTML? These are the sources. This is the file. This is the second source, and the first source was this link that exists in Lab 7 for the quiz next week and for the final. Other questions?
دكتور.
Yes.
خلصت منهج خلاص؟
What is it?
We finished the curriculum خلاص?
We're done with the curriculum, but we still have some things to do today.
Okay.
So there is no questions in HTML. Good. I will move to Access project. Alhamdulillah, you've done Access, and I believe the Access project is more straightforward than Excel. It is a group-based work. Now, the Access project, it is a group-based, and this is, I think, the first part that you have to do as early as possible, and I will help you with that, which is that I will not give you tables and information. I want you to come up with an idea. If you remember, you can go to our files in the lab attachments there, the previous labs, and you can see the examples there. So we had restaurant branches, we have employee and dependents. Dependents mean children. We have brands and products. So we have 2 or 3 tables that are connected to each other. Now, you as a group, I want you to think about a business, a kind of business or organization or an idea or an activity or even a personal task. How to buy a car, how can you do it, or how, whatever. Yani. And I don't want to push ideas there. So for the last time I've done, many students actually done the examples, but I will be I will be enough with the examples. The examples I've already mentioned are enough regarding restaurants and so on. So you will come up with something, a business. Imagine yourself, you are in the street and you will see businesses, all types of businesses around you. I want 4 tables that are connected. Please write this down. I want the 4 tables to be connected. Okay. Sometimes they are connected. So this is the first table. This is the second. I want only 4. Sometimes they are connected this way, like this. Okay. Sometimes they are connected this way. But I want 4 tables at the end. I want 4 of them. And what is the connection? What is the relationship between them? I want it to be one-to-many relationships. So when you come up with the tables, I want one-to-many relationship. Always one-to-many. And when you think about it as a group, you send me an email telling me we are group number 1 from section 5, and this is our access idea. The idea is this, the business is this, and these are the tables. And most importantly, عشان ما تضيع وقتك ولا تضيع وقتي, you use this relationship statement. So this is how you read one relationship, by the way, only one. So you say each X table can have Y and each Y can have X. I want one-to-many only. So each X has many Ys and each Y belong to one X. When you send me the idea and you send me the 4 tables and you give me a relationship statement for each relationship you have, in that time, I will send you back my feedback. I will say, okay, this is a good idea.